You're weird. Hey, what's going on, Charlie Hip?
I'm Gene.
Thanks for tuning in to a very exciting episode. The Garrison Brothers represent today. Are we trying the normal one? No. Are we trying one of my favorites, the silver top? Nope. Are we trying the cowboy? Nope. We are trying the Balmorhea.
It's Balmorhea.
It's when the bourbon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's Balmorhea.
Did you just come up with
I
that?
did just come up with that. But they like to put all their little Texas bling on their bottles.
Bling, I'll take that.
They just won, the 2020, they won double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Been looking everywhere for this bottle of Texas certified whiskey, Garrison Brothers Balmorhea. Found it at the Kentucky Bourbon Trail at the Total.
Yeah.
So,
Not in Kentucky. Who knew?
I'm gonna go ahead and do my own.
Do it.
I'm gonna let my wife do my own uncorking here.
What if you can't do it?
Well, let's slip her in. I'm not breaking that bottle. So, huge fans of Garrison Brothers. You have their Garrison Brothers Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is the 2019 edition. That's a 47%. We have one of my all-time top 10 favorites, the Garrison Brothers Straight Bourbon Whiskey, the silver top. This is a 69.6 cask strength.
That is delightful.
Coca-Cola bourbon. You have your Cowboy, Garrison Brothers Cowboy, which is a 66.95. And one of the top 5 bourbons, one of the top 5 whiskeys I wanted to find and track down this year, the Balmorhea, uncorking right here for you. Oh yeah. This is the Garrison Brothers Balmorhea. This is a 57.5, only 115 proof, folks.
Do you know the mash bill?
I do know.
Okay.
No. If you don't have it written down, no, I don't.
I don't.
Okay. I can tell you it's a 5-year-old. I know they do it a unique way. Look at that color.
Look at that. I like it.
I can tell you that it is mostly corn mash bill. I do remember that. I can tell you they age it uniquely. It's 4 years in an American. I want to leave this off, don't I? They age it for 4 years in an American white oak barrel. Then they into new, because they have to be new to be bourbon. But then for the last year, the 5th year, you know what they do, Gene?
I have no idea.
They put it into another brand new American white oak barrel.
What?
So it touches 2 barrels, but both are brand new American white oak, so it can still be legal bourbon.
So I was going to say, you have to do that for bourbon. They have to go into an unused barrel.
U.S. government mandates in order to be a bourbon, it can only touch brand new American white oak bourbons or barrels. Mash bill, I do not know. Aged not once but twice in 2 completely different new white oak barrels. I already knew that. Cooked, distilled, barreled, and bottled at Garrison Brothers Distillery in High, Texas.
Sure does have a lot of bling.
It does. The corn variety is food grade number 1 from farms in South Texas. If you need it, this is bottle number 15,577. Released, aged in oak, 2021. You may have the 2020 Balmorhea. This is the 2021.
2021.
Balmorhea.
Yes.
It says
Ma'am
right there.
answers.
Boom. So this is one of the ones, and Michael Lindemann, shout out to Michael, came on our Cowboy bourbon review, and he commented and said, hey, if you get an opportunity to try the Balmorhea, try the Balmorhea. He described it as bourbon candy in your mouth.
Oh man. It is somewhat candied, and some major bourbon flavors in the nose. The caramel, the chocolate,
has a mahogany red, almost Coca-Cola color as
sugar,
which is normal for the line.
It's heaven.
Smells like home.
A little bit of cinnamon.
You get that Texas sage that you get with a lot of the lines. You really get it a lot with Balcones, but Garrison Brothers you will a little bit as well. Sagebrush, rye, like dry wheat. If you're a farmer, ever been to a farm, you walk through that wheat field on a July day. It's hot. It's outside.
Have you ever walked through a wheat field?
Yeah, my dad grew up on a farm. We went to my grandpa's farm all the time when I was a kid. That's where we shot 4th of July fireworks at.
All right.
So yeah, I've done it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that graininess of that. I'd say wheat.
Wheat. I get wheat in here. I'm getting some cherry wheat.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's a heavy corn bourbon. Well, you have to be corn to be a bourbon.
I'm getting wheat though.
Yeah, as am I. It's like you're walking through that dry wheat field. You get the Texas sage. You can get your nose all the way down there, and the Balmorhea it's higher than the black label, but it's only 55.
There's some black licorice in here.
And what do you think about the waistband of the Cowboy and the Balmorhea?
They really do up their bottles.
And
they do.
The Cowboy came in this glass bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Balmorhea did what the Cowboy does. The Cowboy comes in its own case. But it has that Garrison Brothers nose to me, where it's got a touch of very strong Coca-Cola.
It's like that cherry cola.
I mean, yeah, there's no mistaking once you get a Texas whiskey in your cup. Colorado will fool me sometimes with the 291, and a couple of Colorado distillers will fool me sometimes because they have some sage notes as well.
Man, this is opening up very nicely.
Very excited. I'm gonna have a go in.
Have a go in.
My mouth's salivating. I'm gonna swallow first. Salivating there.
Man, it's just a really thick nose.
Interesting. Instantly dries up my tongue. For a second, it gave me. About to blow your mind, Gene.
Ooh.
You know what this instantly reminded me of? Barreling our own whiskey.
You get vinegar?
I got a touch of vinegar on there.
No, I'm not getting vinegar.
To me, it's astringent. It's a sweet vinegar, not a bad vinegar.
Oh, okay.
Not a bad vinegar.
Well, when you said the barrel, I'm like.
Well, that was my first impression. It's vinegar. It's sweet. It's tons of oak.
I get the cherry cola and some chocolate. There's a small bit of ginger and.
I don't know if I've had another whiskey that dried my tongue out so quickly.
This is astringent.
But it's very cherry.
Cherry.
More like grenadine syrup than actual cherry syrup, even though grenadine is a cherry syrup. But
the finish is long.
Yes. Long with it's a syrup note.
Yeah, I went down a roller coaster, then I went back up, and then back down a roller coaster.
How's it go?
Well, push rewind if you want to get it. Down a roller coaster, then back up a roller coaster, then back down a roller coaster.
Just say if it might work. It's very sweet. It's
got some lime notes.
It's like sugar water. It's like sugar water to me.
Sugar water? Like yucca.
No. Yucca is a flavored liqueur from Italy.
No, yucca's a one that you make yourself. It's got the
lemon, yucca. I'm thinking of Tawaka.
And then
you're right. I'm thinking of Tawaka.
In it. I get the lemon, lime, sugar.
Yucca.
Yucca.
But it's got a corn syrupness to it. That's what the sweetness is from.
It's a thick flavor.
It's thick. That's what the sweetness is. It's corn syrup. That's what I'm getting. Now, so far, I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, this is an uncorking, and our least favorite, we've said it 1,000 times, is the neck pour.
Always the neck pour is the bad.
Right now, this is the reigning champ for me.
Yeah.
This
I think I'm
fella right there, the silver top.
Which one you were doing.
And
3 drops.
if you guys watch Scotch Test Dummies, are good friends of ours.
Not good friends of mine.
They're good friends of mine. And Bart and I have the exact same bottle from the exact same barrel, everything in that. And this is both of ours favorite prior to the Balmorhea, which is named after a Texas park apparently.
I get some lemongrass now. Or some kind of a lemon cookie.
Tootsie Roll.
A lemon Tootsie Roll?
I'm getting a Tootsie Roll.
Oh.
Easy Tootsie Rolls. Not even, yeah, easy. I'm getting a chocolate note now, which I did not get without the water.
Yeah.
Spidey senses are going off.
Water's doing something.
It's, oh, that's what it is. It's not a Tootsie Roll. It's brownie batter. It's like the liquid brownie batter you haven't put in the cake pan to bake yet.
Raw brownie mix.
Yeah. That's exactly the chocolate. Precisely. Interesting. Not even close. It's definitely brownie batter.
Woke the peppers up.
And this is why we don't do a ton of uncorkings.
I get the brownie batter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I don't get graininess, but I'm tasting graininess. If that makes sense at all. Some kind of a grainy chocolate, heavy, thick batter. Yeah.
See, that's what. So we don't do a ton of uncorkings, but when we do uncorkings, we always mention it's starting to open up in our glass.
I'm actually gonna put another drop of water in.
Do it. And some folks they'll uncork it and they'll sit it down like, yeah, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Well, that's not really an uncorking because you've allowed it to sit down and do 20 minutes of opening it up. That's simply opening it up and just doing a review. Uncorkings is that initial out of the neck review, but this is, yeah, opening it up. Majority of the time you're going to drink it. It's not going to be the uncorking, obviously.
Lemon and lime. There's some citrus in my cherry cola.
I'm gonna check your lemon and go with a different citrus. Orange cookie, which I haven't had in 20 years, but I loved orange cookies every time I could get my hands on them.
Well, it's a citrus family.
Yes, 100%. Which is a different note than this.
Oh yeah, this is completely different than any of those guys.
Yeah, it is.
He's in his own little world over here, just la la la.
But I am 100% I'm still smelling a little bit of that sweet vinegar. A little bit of chalk right now.
Apple cider?
Apple cider vinegar.
Maybe.
Yep, you're right.
But a straight apple cider vinegar is horrible. But when you put it in with something, a little touch of it in something, then it's not bad.
That is like a chocolate paste. I get what you said. You said a minute ago you could taste the grain. 100% get that. It's kind of like you take a marble and you roll across sandpaper. It's gonna a little bit. That's kind of the palate. It's probably the best way I can describe it. This is interesting.
I get some tobacco on the finish, like a tobacco leaf. I'm gonna say that there's probably some wheat in here, because those are the notes that I get for wheat is the black licorice and tobacco. What I consider manly flavors. I get that normally on a wheated whiskey, and I'm getting some of those flavors out of this.
Interesting. The longer this opens up, the more I'm digging it. I'm having a hard time with my score right now. I had a score, and then I added water, and I let it sit for a minute, and then the flavors increased. I may need a bit more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It tastes young. It tastes younger than 5 years. It has a mouthfeel younger than 5 years, but it's at least a 5-year. And I dig the colors. I dig everything they do with their wax labeling, and you can tell the difference just on the wax. Just the shoulder length, how far they go down. This goes down to the ridge of the bottle.
I got my number.
All right, we'll do mine. What do you think, before you show it, what do you think? Write real quick in the comments, what are our scores going to be? What do you think? You got yours? I'm gonna guess yours, but you can show it. I'm going to guess and say you did either an 88 or an 89. I'm going to say you did an 89. What'd you do, Jean?
I did do an 89.
90.
No, I did an 89, yep.
To me, this was an 89 before I added water. I added water, opened the notes up, which means we come back to this in a week or so.
Oh, it's gonna be
a 92 or 93.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Because memory serves, this was 90, 93, 91, or 92. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched any of these reviews.
I don't remember what we score at other bottles. And then I'll come back to it.
I do something most of the time.
I'll score something different than I did the day before sometimes. So.
What'd you pay for? What did I pay for?
You paid for this.
I know what I paid for. I paid $150 for this.
$153.
$153 for this. Here's the thing though. You cannot find this under $300.
What? You found it for $153.
Yeah.
How can you possibly say you can't find it for under $300?
Go to Google, type in Garrison Brothers.
Oh, you mean on the line?
Yeah. 300. What this thing is going for left and right.
Huh.
I think Caskers has it for 200, but they're out of stock. So 150. Is it worth, Gina, $153?
So I'm basing it off of my neck pour, which to me it wasn't that great. I am somewhat disappointed in a Garrison Brother bottle. The silver was only $150, and oh man,
they're the same price.
Same price. But boy, I tell you, that one, hands down, well worth it.
Oh yeah, that's easy. That's out of the park, home run.
The Cowboy was a bit overpriced in my opinion.
Cowboy was 300.
270 is what I think I picked it
270
for. This one, maybe it's gonna get better after the neck pour, and I'll come back saying how.
They always get better after the neck pour.
They do. In my opinion, it's a bit much. You?
No, I'm agree with you. It's right now for the neck pour. It's a 90. I'd say it's based upon just Garrison Brothers, so not really apples to apple-ish. It is so far my least favorite of the four. I'd go 1, 2, 3. Actually, sorry about your $270 bottle.
It's fine.
But I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be better.
Yeah, I have high hopes that it's going to be better. So maybe in a week or two when we come back to this and you give this to me blind and you'll be like, what do you think it is? And I'll be like, I don't know, it's delightfulness in my glass. Then, maybe it'll be worth it.
Would you be willing to do a blind Garrison Brothers flight and then rank them 1 through 4?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Okay, so that's coming up. Because a lot of times you're like, I don't want to do a versus, or I don't want to do a thing. Because I
don't like blinds and trying to
I do.
figure out what it is that I'm drinking.
But
he loves to play the game.
It's like trivia.
I just tell me what it is.
It's like bourbon trivia.
I either like it or I don't. I don't want to guess what it is. I don't keep in my head different flavors of these different bottles. I won't be able to ever pick out saying, oh, that's this, No, I don't do that.
I love that. That's like bourbon trivia. If you like trivia, you either like Trivia Pursuit or you like charades. For me, it's both. I love both. You get to guess stuff. So upcoming, you heard it here first, we'll be doing a blind Garrison Brothers flight with these four. The Cowboy, the Silver Top, the Black Top, and the Balmorhea.
All right.
Anything to add there, Jean Marie?
I have nothing else to add.
I'm Charlie.
And I am Jean, and I hope you are just as thirsty as we are.
Yeehaw! You gotta do, it's Texas, I gotta do one yeehaw.
Okay.
She wouldn't let me wear her cowboy hat.